Wollondilly Shire Council Executive Team Performance Report, Ali Dench, Executive of Corporate Support and Community Services. Ali Dench has been with Wollondilly Shire Council for a number of years. She is related to Michael Bonacic. The daughter is married to Ben Bonacic and is second in charge. So it would be reasonable for her to be expected to know that full disclosure in logs would be a requirement of the job. Why then is Ali Dench's business, Teach Solutions, which is currently a registered business, unable to be found in the disclosure logs? This would appear to be a breach of the Code of Conduct and the Local Government Act. This would be deemed as a Code of Conduct matter, and why hasn't it been investigated? As we can see here, current details for ABN, Alison Dench, it's active, not currently registered, New South Wales 2570. Why is that not in the disclosure logs? Or wasn't last time I checked? Responsible people for overseeing this are your councillors. Has this been investigated? Not that anyone is aware of. What could her interest be in the SRV rate increases remaining for the general purpose? Well, we found some documents, and some of these documents are quite interesting, okay? They show where money has been spent on staff's improvements to their property. Take here, for example, this is a DP of Councillor Cooper's property line. Now, this was obviously back when she was a councillor or he was a councillor. Now, you'll notice here, that's where the property line is. In here, these are goods received by council. Now, you'll notice up here, it's $44,773.06. It's for the relocation of a fence per quote. This particular, property line here, apparently what happened is the fencing was wrong. And so council, what they normally do with everybody else is they normally go around and say that you have to adjust that as your, it's your responsibility and you have to pay for it. Well, not with this particular councillor. They decided to take ratepayers' money to the tune of $44,773 for a fence. So it's relocation of fence as per quote. The job number here is 22800. It's Top Job Installations, and Mike Nelson is the person that actually authorised this. Now, obviously, Mike Nelson works underneath somebody. That person he works under is Ali Dench. You'll also notice here we have a document from a staff member who basically says that what they did is they took Shire and they charged it in order to council for a driveway for one of the other properties. Now, this is something that we're still struggling to come up with for the finances, but what we've been told is, again, it's close to about $45,000. So you'll see there's the job number, the scheduled maintenance for it, and the property, how many staff were there. There's also records of this. So you'll see that this starts to be a pattern of behaviour. Now, could it be that money has been used to the tune of almost $90,000 for upgrades to two staff members' properties? This would have been much harder to achieve if the SRV was actually isolated. If that money was used to upgrade the properties as shown in the documents, then that means ratepayers paid for it. So is the reason Ali Dench doesn't want the SRV to be isolated is because she has further upgrades in mind for more staff? Is it because the SRV money is easily accessible and easily replaceable? Can be done by failing to maintain the infrastructure. Now, I'm sure you are wondering why this hasn't been passed on to ICAC. Well, it has, and it is, I believe, currently still under investigation. As a matter of fact, it has been passed on to all councillors, and a request for an external auditor's report looking into council expenditure has been refused by council staff and councillors. So that has left residents with no other option but to put it to the public and ask your councillors who are up for re-election on September 10, 2016, in particular, Simon Landau, Cole Mitchell, Judith Hannon, Hilton Gibbs, Michael Bonacic, and Ray Law, the only one who I believe has actually addressed this previously, to please explain why a senior staff member such as Ali Dench has allowed almost $90,000 to be spent on staff's property out of ratepayers' money. Then she has been given a pay rise. Well, perhaps she is performing, but maybe the benefits are for those other than the residents. Why has this not been handed over to the DPP for prosecution pursuant to Section 8 of the Independent Commission Against Corruption Act, which clearly states that dishonestly obtaining or assisting in obtaining or dishonestly benefiting from the payment or application of public funds for private advantage or the disposition of public assets for private advantage and defrauding the public revenue. All we have been asking for is an external audit regarding these matters. The staff member can be placed on suspension until the investigation is complete. This is something that new councillors such as Kelly Ferguson will have addressed immediately upon election. If $90,000 of ratepayers' money has been used for a purpose that it is not intended for, then we will seek immediate prosecution of all staff involved and will seek to have those staff repay that money with interest. This is outrageous, and the fact that 7 councillors want to be re-elected while refusing to address this should tell you all you need to know. Vote on actions, not on what they say. All councillors have known about this, or should have, as it is part of their duty to oversee council expenditure. How did $90,000 get used for upgrades to staff's property? And this is just the one we have evidence for. A forensic audit of council records could potentially find a lot more. Are councillors really protecting your money if they know this and are failing to do anything about it?